A good day ahead to all of you. I'm Geraldine Anne Salonga, and my report is all about theater. Have you ever been in a theater before? Well, these pictures are some scenario that we might see inside the theater. Are theater and theater the same? Theater and theater can be used interchangeably. Theater with RE is British English to refer to an activity, going to or doing theater, in an art form. Theater with RE refers to the activity itself. Theater with ER rather, is American English to refer to a building or a place where performances are shown, while the theater with ER is the place where the whole performances are executed. Throughout history, many theaters buildings were built around the world. Some of them were destroyed, some of them forgotten, and some of them still stand firm. Here are some famous theaters in the world. Number 1 is the La Scala de Milan. This theater is Milan, Italy, is a landmark and most famous opera house in the world, which is impossible to miss. It represents many of the most opera houses in the world, conducted by Arturo Toscanini, Riccardo Muti, and Gavazzini Ghiandra. Next is Moscow Bolshoi Theater. Moscow Bolshoi Theater. This one is famous theater is in Moscow, Russia, and it is the one of the oldest and most renowned ballets and opera companies in the world, with more than 200 dancers. Next is the Sydney Opera House. It's best known in terms of aesthetics and most modern building in the world. It has the qualification to be the World Heritage Site. And lastly, the Liceo de Barcelona. This theater is situated in Barcelona, Spain. It is one of the oldest and best theater in the world. It is also called the Prestige of Barcelona. On its stage have performed the most prominent and well-known opera singers in the world. Some theater performs the best story of all time, and one of the famous writer is William Shakespeare. William Shakespeare is the best British writer of all time. His many works are about life, love, death, revenge, grief, jealousy, murder, magic, and mystery. He wrote the blockbuster plays of his day, and some of it are Romeo and Juliet, 1594, and Macbeth, 1605. Origin of theater. Theater has its origins in the Greek word theatron, which means a place for looking. Other sources translate it as seeing place. Theater buildings have been existing since the ancient Greeks. Today, theater can be experienced in different venues such as classrooms, gymnasiums, or even in street. Theater is also often associated with drama. The term drama, dramatic theater, and spoken theater are often used interchangeably, although strictly the term drama refers to a form of literature. Theater is like a drama because you do some acting styles to catch the attention of the audience and give life to the story, but drama strictly for literature such as prose and poetry. And by the way, prose is just the ordinary language of people used in speaking and writing. Theater as an art. One of the key characteristics of art is that it mirrors life. This is also true to theater, which makes it an art. As an art form, a key feature of theater is selectivity. It selects and focuses on a part of the total picture. It also uses a medium to present its form. In theater, the medium is the presentation of a story or a message which enacted by performers or actors. So it says that theater is an art in a way of it combines word, voice, movement, and visual elements to express meaning, which it gives life to a certain story. It is built on understanding and presenting interaction between people. Theater is universal. We find theater in every culture. Theater has been part of a religious ritual, a civic celebration, a status symbol, a means of educating the young, a way of maintaining or challenging the status quo, a protest against the establishment, or means of sexual titillation, a way of raising moral and expressing solidarity, a propaganda vehicle, a profit-making venue, and a way of sparking discussion. Meaning, theater has been part of every culture, depending on what we are trying to convey to everyone. Like the other performing arts, theater is an interpretive discipline between the text or story and audience, a collaboration of artists, director, designers, actors who embody the interpretation through a performance. Here are the basic elements of theater. Number one is the audience. The essence of the theater is the interaction between the performer and the audience. In a live theater experience, when the audience laughs out loud or cries, then the actors respond to that energy. Two phenomena that audiences experience when watching a theater. Number one is empathy. It's emotional identification, meaning it is the ability to put oneself in someone else's shoes. But in theater, it refers to a sense of a participation or identification with a character. Aesthetic distance is psychological separation or a sense of detachment, meaning it is what keeps the audience from shouting, from trying to influence the action on stage. Next is the space. It is necessary to have space in which performers or audiences come together. It is essential to have a stage or some equivalent area where actors and actresses can perform. It is also essential to have a place for audience to sit or stand. The space must be organized for the movement of the actor and the relationship of the actors to the audience in mind. Next is the performance of the actors. At the most basic level, every human being who interacts with other human beings is an actor. The actors wears a mask, whether literal or figurative, and when the preparation is complete, the audience is asked to accept the masked actor as the character designated by the play. In general, the action or movement itself that actors were portraying and must be convincing to the eye of the audience so that it can easily catch their attention. Next is the director's supervision. The director is in charge of the artistic aspects of production. It is the director's job to guide the transformation of the play to live production. The director interprets the play and heads the artistic team, providing a focus and organization for the creative work. So meaning, the director sets the tone for the production, and it approves the overall look and sound, sets the movement of actors, and makes final decisions when necessary. Next is the purpose and point of view of a theater piece. In the minds of most audience members, reception is followed by understanding, which includes the meaning of what they are experiencing. The meaning of a play or a movement in the play can become something quite different for each audience member. The performance has its own unique life each time it occurs. It is importantly to give the real purpose and point of view so that we can see the life behind that particular theater piece. Next is the work of the playwright. One writer creates the play or script as written text indicating the words that characters speak and some of the physical action. The playwright or the writer provides the basic action of the play. Therefore, he or she decides the major events of the play, and the basic nature of each character, and the exact words that will be spoken on stage. Last but not the least is the visual effects, costumes, lights, scenery, sounds. And the play is brought to life by a team of theater artists headed by the director, then the designers. Of course, it composed of 4 visual effects. The scenery that pertains to visual home, location, or setting for the play on stage. Costume pertains to the wearable scenery for the actors to help define and express the character. Lights that influence the effect of all visual elements by controlling focus and mood with color, placement, and intensity of light for the actors to help define and express the character. Lights that influence the effect of all visual elements by controlling focus and mood with color, placement, and intensity of light. And lastly is the sound. It refers to the acoustic and recorded sound that pertains to the audible scenery, which also supports the mood projected by the play. The significance of the theater to our lives. Theater helps us to see a different perspective from our own. Meaning, just like the artists, they put themselves into emotional and intellectual situations that may never arise in their personal lives. Theater promotes us to give power to truth, to take risks, and to advocate for new and diverse voices. Theater reminds us that we are not alone, because for me, sharing can experience with live actors and live audience members is not only valuable, it's necessary for human connection. Third, theater is immediate, evolving, and always different. In this way, everyone involved has a distinct and unique experience that can never be replicated. Theater performances are always different. Fourth, live theater helps to promote social discourse, dialogue, and potential social change, because by means of theater, we can study societal problems and attempt to find solutions. And lastly, theater promotes education and literacy, of course. According to studies, students who participate or active in watching or participating in theater do better in school. Before my presentation ends, I would like to give you some quotations by Anastasia Roberts. Theater is a powerful art form. It teaches lessons about life, society, and emotion, and more importantly, yourself. Meaning, theater is indeed a powerful art because it taught us the reality of everything about life and helped us to become open. Just like an art, it gives us the definition of everything we have, and we can see or imagine is real. Everything we see or imagine is real. That will be all. Thank you.